Hey there, Nancy Drew Clue crew. I'm Maura, and welcome to another video walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game series. Today, I'm playing Secrets Can Kill Remastered, a remake of the very first game in the series, Secrets Can Kill.
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. This is my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
So again, this is a remastered version of the first game in the series. It was released in 2010, the 80th anniversary of Nancy Drew, between games 22, Trail of the Twister, and 23, Shadow at the Water's Edge. So in this version, it's more like when it begins, the games at that point, which was a long way, things had come a long way since 1998 with the interface layout, the size of the magnifying glass, mouse magnifying glass, and how it begins. Like now it's Nancy starting in Nancy's room with her giving a voiceover and at her desk, and we have a case file folder with the current assignment. And usually we're traveling out of state, so then we click on a plane ticket, which then offers the option of junior or senior detective, or some of the later games, amateur or super sleuth. Of course, I'm going to go with junior detective.
Dear Dad, who would have dreamed taking a
In true
vacation
style
with
to the
Aunt
original,
Eloise
though, it begins
would
with
result in
Nancy
another
writing a
case?
letter to her father.
A student named Jake Rogers was murdered at the high school last week, and an undercover police detective wants me to pose as a student to search for any leads at the school. So it's undercover I go. I'm calling this case Secrets Can Kill. Love, Nancy.
Okay, so among the differences this has to the original version is that characters are computer animated instead of traditionally animated as they were in the original. There's a new character, as you just saw, named Detective Beach. In this one, Daryl Gray is not our contact and thus doesn't know and Nancy's a detective posing as a new student. Here's another change. Eloise leaves us a letter saying to get the key to the library in the safe, but to not enter a wrong combination. And this is it. Sigma Phi Kappa Delta, the combination to the safe, which was used to be in another drawer in the living room. Yes, this is another change. We can find quarters throughout the game. I'm not going to try to find them all, but I'll take just a few what I can pick up. So let's put in the combination, grab the key to the library, and I'm just going to do this for the heck of it. This will tell it in here is computer login information for Eloise. And this is a slider puzzle, different than it is in the original game, in which it has to match the lid. All right, and here it is, Eloise Drew, O Wise Elder, just as it is in the original game. Before I leave, just want to show you a couple other things I can get. Here in this one, we can get a key to the teacher's lounge, which is not done in the original version of the game. In here, it looks like those book covers of the original Nancy Drew books, the original 56. Truth is, I never read any of the Nancy Drew books. I was just drawn to it for these games. Like the original game, this book is shown with hidden clues are everywhere, and it's much differently. But yes, there are hidden codes and clues in this version of the game too, which I will show you. Okay, now let's leave, and as we do, we get a phone call from the Detective Beach.
Nancy Drew, Detective Beach here. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Frustrated, Nancy. I need some leads, and you're my man. Well, woman, teen, student, whatever. I'll be at Maxine's Diner. Come see me when you found out anything. All contact should be through me.
Can do. So what's our cover?
Our what?
Our cover. Who should I say you are if anyone sees us and asks?
Oh, right. I'll be your uncle. Uncle Steve. I gotta go now. If you need anything else, come see me at Maxine's. I'm wearing glasses and a green striped shirt.
Okay, one other difference is it's just these 3 buildings to go to. There is no Vandelay pharmaceutical plant like there was in the original game. Let's go here first just to see Beach and Daryl. And then we'll go to the school.
Welcome to Maxine's. I'm Daryl Gray. I don't think I've seen you here before.
My name's Nancy Drew. I just moved down here.
Then you'll be attending Paseo Del Mar High. I'm your student council president. If there's anything you need, just let me know.
Thanks. I might just take you up on that offer.
So, what can I do for you?
Tell me about Paseo Del Mar High.
It's a great school. Good teachers, nice students, lots of after-school activities. It's just too bad what happened.
What happened?
One of the students was murdered in the school last week.
What happened?
Someone beat up this guy, Jake Rogers, and then threw him down a flight of stairs. He worked here, but I didn't really know him. He kept mainly to himself.
That's another minor difference. Jake worked at the diner in this version of the game. In the original game, he didn't.
Who did it?
No one knows, and the police are keeping pretty clammed up about it. But my resources say they're calling in some special detective, maybe even the FBI.
Wow, you must have some special contacts.
Just special enough to see beautiful women like yourself.
What do you mean?
Get it? Contacts? I'm wearing contacts that let me see pretty women. I should get back to work. Nice meeting you, Nancy.
See you later.
See ya.
So one of the hidden clues in this, they're different than how they were in the original game. But here's one. Some of the letters are lit up in different colors. And the hidden messages, you're going to find them a lot of with periodic table of the elements with a direction next to them with R meaning right, L meaning left, U meaning up, D meaning down. That spells out his journal is my cash cow. Now I want to go in here. If you remember in the original game, oh, here's something new, a note to Daryl from Connie. If you remember in the original game, when I go back here into the kitchen, I have to take the bolt cutters and replace it with a soup ladle, because otherwise, if I try to leave then, it'll cause an explosion. In the original game, you could hear the gas, but you couldn't see it. Well, now you can see it as well as hear it. Like I said, though, a soup ladle in place of bolt cutters, not a great substitution, I think. And there's that hidden message there. Watch out. There's another message
Like
with directions and then an element. And so is this. I'm not going to spend time interpreting what they say, though I will probably do that some other time. I'll just get to the chase, though, when I find the puzzle to which these all belong. But now let's talk to Detective Beach,
Uncle Steve!
who's our
Nancy!
quote-unquote
Why, I
Uncle
haven't seen
Steve.
you since, for a long time. How's your...
Aunt Eloise. Oh, she's fine. And Dad says hello.
You're staying with your aunt, right?
Yes.
So, what do you got for me?
Well, I was hoping you could debrief me on the investigation.
Oh, sure. I'm just a bit, well, My undercover assignments are usually not so suburban.
I understand.
The victim was a senior named Jake Rogers. As usual, none of the family, teachers, or students know about any enemies he may have had. Nothing came up from searching his home, computer, cell phone, or locker. His bank records tell a different story. He had a fairly large savings account and a lot of cash deposits. We suspect he was involved in something shady. Drugs, gambling, or blackmail. That's where you fit in. Talk to the students and see what you can find out. We think he might have kept information about his activities in a notebook or journal. So keep a lookout for anything like that. Anything else?
Goodbye.
See you later.
All right, now let's go to the school and meet the students. Before I forget, here is Jake's locker. I know the combination, but I'll explain to you how to get it. Up, down, left, right. The first letters will help my plight. I'll explain what that means in a little bit. First, most of the messages we're going to find on the bulletin boards with the messages with the elements and the directions. I'll find them all, but I'm not going to interpret them. Like I said, I'll do that some other time. I'll just point out the ones that are kind of crucial to know directions to play the game, though, and to know what to do next. Like, almost forgot this one once. This one, which from bottom to all the way to the top, it says, if anything happens to me, look in my chemistry book, page 305. And here's a student.
Whoa, a new girl at school. Do you realize what destiny has brought you today? Yours truly, Hector Sanchez. But you can just call me the Hulk.
In the original game, Hulk's jersey said 00, but in here his number is 80 as a nod to the 80th anniversary of Nancy Drew.
The Hulk?
You are new around here. I play for the Manatees, one of the best teams in the state. I leave the others in the dirt, man. Soon it's college ball, and then the pros. Showtime.
Who are the Manatees?
Paseo Del Mar's mascot is a manatee. Don't tell me you're afraid of a little sea cow.
Of course not. I know what to do if I come across a manatee.
Yeah, just sneeze and it'll swim away. Seriously, the Manatees are a great team at a great school. Everyone is cool, except for a few punks like Jake Rogers.
Jake Rogers?
I knew Jake, but I didn't hang out with him. Sorry, can't talk now. I gotta go to practice. Later.
It's important to look at this poster because that's for something regarding one of the other characters later. Okay, now let's look around, talk to the other students. Another message. I'm not going to interpret it. It's not that's significant. This one is, though. It's backwards. It says, break, break, orange cool will play the alarm in the school. Here's another student.
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. What's your name?
Hal Tanaka. Actually, my first name is much longer than that. But I want to fit in here in America, so I chose Hal as my nickname. I'm a Japanese exchange student.
Why do you think it's easier to have an American name?
I want to be part of the culture and succeed in this country.
So, what's been going on at school lately?
A murder was committed here. Everyone is very stressed out.
Are you stressed out?
I'm studying really hard for exams now. My future as a doctor depends on the outcome of these tests. Also, I think the murder has caused a lot of tension at school.
Wow. Well, who was murdered?
Jake Rogers, a student here at Paseo Del Mar High. It's really intense.
Did you know him?
Not really, only by reputation.
What reputation?
I feel uncomfortable speaking about this now. Please, excuse me.
One other difference this game has is that the murder of Jake took place a week before the game starts, while in the original game it takes place the very next day. Here's this one says, a crane contestant in a mask disguise won the prize money despite all the lies. So because it's been a week since Jake was murdered, some of the conversations are a little different. But virtually the conversations you have with Hulk, Hal, and Connie are the same as the kinds you can choose to have with them from the original game.
Hi, I'm Connie. You're not from around here, are you? Usually, Paseo Del Mar High is really quiet and boring. Lately, it's been totally out of control.
Out of control?
One of the students was killed last week.
What happened?
I think he was pushed down a flight of stairs or something.
What makes you think he was pushed and didn't just fall?
I heard his face was all messed up, like he was in a fight. He was always getting into fights.
What kind of guy was Jake?
Jake Rogers was a total creep. Nobody liked him. I gotta go now. Later.
Oh, before I forget, I think in late 2009, early 2010, before the game was released, they had a series of contests, and one of them where people could submit their picture as yearbook photos and have it appear in the game. And here, for the student of the month of September, is the face of our famous Nancy Drew YouTuber and gamer Arglefump, Michael Gray. Hi, Michael. Thanks for letting me give this shout out to you. Here's another note that's important. The first letters in each word here, if you go down, spell out fifth map drawer.
Nancy, you can't go in there.
But I have a key.
Until you can show me some teaching credentials, you're not allowed in.
So we have the key, but we can't get in while she's there. Where we're going to have to distract her and get her out of the room so we can go into the teacher's lounge. Right here is the maintenance room, but the lock, it's in Braille, so we need to not only know the combination, but what the combination word will spell out in Braille. Okay. Here's another one. Student files under lock and key will show the lies of the doctor-to-be. Yeah, I already saw that one.
How's it going?
How could I get into Jake's locker?
I could tear the door off with my teeth. But it just might be easier to ask Hal Tanaka. His locker was right next to Jake's.
Do you know Hal Tanaka?
That dude is always studying. He's a huge fan of mine. Real smart guy. But I never understood why a brain like Tanaka would hang out with slime like Jake.
Fan?
Tanaka never missed a game. That is until he started hanging out with Jake.
Hal was a friend of Jake's?
Let's just say I saw them talking together a lot. Jake's locker was right next to Hal's.
But they weren't really friends, is that what you're saying?
Jake didn't really have friends, and Hal, he may seem pretty chill, but I've seen him crack a couple of times. He's seriously uptight.
Crack a couple of times?
He's got a temper, a bad one. He lets the pressure build and build until he's wound so tight the slightest thing sets him off. Like last week, I strike him out during gym, and he goes ballistic and charges the mount. He's got some serious issues. Now that I think of it, last time I saw them together, Hal seemed pretty upset.
What can you tell me about Connie Watson?
She hangs out at the gym a lot. I heard she's been having a real tough time.
Why do you think she hangs out at the gym so much?
I don't know. She's a pretty good athlete, but never joined any of Paseo Del Mar's teams.
Why not?
Not exactly sure.
You said she was having a tough time?
I heard she's been having some money problems.
What can you tell me about Daryl Gray?
He seems like a cool guy. His family used to sponsor the annual football awards dinner until last year. You know, he's the one who found Jake's body.
I gotta go.
See ya.
Hey, Nancy, need something?
Have you seen any of those weird messages on the bulletin boards?
Yes, and if I catch the guy who's doing it, he's going to be in big trouble. I bet it's the same person who keeps on setting off the soda machine alarm.
I guess that comes with the territory of being school monitor.
Normally it's not this hectic. When I figure out who's been pulling all these pranks.
How well do you know Daryl Gray?
I wish I knew him better. He's the only guy I'd ever consider dating. He's student council president, holds a cool job at a diner called Maxine's, and drives a Seaback X80.
Drives a sports car and works at a diner? That doesn't compute.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Daryl's family was rich and used to throw major parties all the time, but not anymore.
Why did you break your date with Daryl to the Sadie Hawkins dance?
It's a long story.
Hulk told me money's been tight for you these days.
What a dork! Hulk Sanchez doesn't know the first thing about my life. He needs to get a life and stop talking about mine.
Do you know Hal Tanaka?
Not very well. He's an exchange student from Japan and a total workaholic. He told me he's trying to get more scholarships for college. Lately, he's been looking really burnt out. I think the pressure's getting to him.
What pressure?
I guess it's a big deal for his family that he get into a good school on a free ride.
I'll talk to you later.
Adios.
Have you heard of Hulk Sanchez?
Heard of him? Hulk holds the conference record for quarterback sacks. He's been the state's #1 player since he was a freshman. He's also a candidate for a big university, even with his injury.
Injury?
Hulk got hurt a few weeks ago. Ever since that game, he hasn't played the same. I worry that his chances of playing for a top school are not as good as before his injury.
So I wanted to bring up that aside from Nancy, Hal is the only character who has the same voice actor as he did in the original game. I'm not sure if the actor was brought back to record some more lines or just they used archive recordings for this. Everyone else has different voices, though.
Do you know Connie Watson?
Yes, we've been in a few classes together. I think she was dating Jake Rogers.
What can you tell me about Daryl Gray?
He's very popular, and a good politician, too. Just like his father.
And since this takes place a week after Jake's death, they cut out his line that he says at the beginning, Daryl found Jake's body this morning.
Like his father?
I hear he was a great politician, but not a very good businessman. I think his company went bankrupt a few years ago.
Do you know the combination to Jake Rogers' locker?
I'm sorry, Nancy. I can't help you with that.
Hulk said your locker's right next to Jake's. Are you sure you don't know the combination?
I remember one day Jake was mad because he couldn't open his locker. He told me he wished he had a phone handy. Would that help?
Connie told me you study too hard. Is that true?
Connie doesn't know my study habits. I can handle my studies. I'm behind in my studies and I must get back to the library. Bye, Nancy.
Yeah, in the original game, he says, I'm behind my studies and must get back to the library, but now he just stays put, just like when Hulk says, I gotta go to practice later, but he ends up just staying right there. Okay, so what he said, he told me he wish he had a phone handy. That's the clue. The combination spells out Jake's name on a phone, which makes it 5253. It wasn't like this in the original game, of course, but this version about etiquette is written by Prudence Rutherford, who's been a phone character in 3 games. And the masked man at the judo competition. Empty video case. Break-in at a pharmacy. These are drawing contests that were won by other drawings done by for other contests that were drawn by winners of those contests. That message that said "Grape, grape, orange, cool." That's the triggers the soda machine alarm, which we're going to have to do at the machine in front of Hulk to get Connie to leave. If we do it at the machine in front of Connie, she'll think that we're the ones who have been doing it and we'll get kicked off the case. All right. If you remember that one message on the bulletin board said 5th map drawer, this is it. And it says, if anything happens to me, search under my combo in catalog. I'll show you what that means in a minute. First, we have to look at some other stuff here.
Fentanyl is a steroid and was one of the drugs stolen at the drug station.
Here are some other artworks, one submitted by contestants and who won, obviously. That's important to read.
Is wearing is kanji for crane.
See how the crane symbol just sort of popped out as I opened it. Book on Braille is around here that I need to translate. Once I know the password to the door. I know what it is, but I'll show you what it is when I get into the teacher's lounge to do it. Okay, one interesting thing about this game is that some of the books are actually books from previous games. So like at Lizzie Applegate was an unseen character, a book about her in the 3rd game, Message in a Haunted Mansion. Let me just show you one more before I continue. Harry Houdini, mentioned in 5th game, the final scene. So that message from the drawer said, check under my combo in catalog. So what you do is type 5253, which spells out, again, like I said, Jake's name on a phone. So under my seat. Okay, let's see where this is coming from. And listen to the music's change, so obviously we're on to something. I'm not going to show you all the books that in this, where they are, but I will in another video perhaps. Here's the periodic table of the elements, like I said. So we've been seeing on the messages some elements listed with letters next to them that were stood for directions. So here's what we have to look at. Jake was here. Chemistry book, like that eyesight chart said. The answer to my fate lies in the box. A matchbook behind Maxine's schedule holds the first step. My messages. So he's been making the messages on the bulletin boards. Hold the remaining 18 steps. The elements tell the order. The letter and digit tell the direction. Just like I said. JR, Jake Rogers, obviously. Okay. Under my seat, it's this. We can't get in yet because we don't know all of the... We don't know the first step. I'll show you just a couple of books. Okay, that just happens in the game when you're in this spot. Always does. I don't know why, but it does. It's nothing that I did, and no one's coming in. Okay, this is written in French. That was the journal of Julius McQuaid from the 16th game, White Wolf of Icicle Creek. I'll show you maybe one more, but then I gotta continue. Prefix, that's from Ransom of the Seven Ships, El Toro's journal, or part of it. Changing the music again. Okay, that's from the 11th game, Curse of Blackmore Manor. And of course, but since this is from another game, the phone number is not there. Okay, I think I've seen everything I need to see in here. Now let's go to the teacher's lounge, though. But before I do that, I have to trigger the alarm. Let's talk to Hulk before I do.
Do you know why Jake had an empty video cassette case in his locker?
I didn't pay much attention to Jake. I'm tired of talking about that loser.
Tell me about the robbery at the drug station pharmacy.
Why would I know about a robbery? All I know about is football.
I'm really sorry you got injured. Does that affect your chances of playing college ball?
I had a little sprain, no big deal. Within a week, I was better than before, and impressing the football scouts. Well, I'm as strong as ever.
I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Alright, so let's set off the alarm.
Great, you broke it!
Hey, Nancy, need something?
Do you know why Jake had an empty video cassette case in his locker?
No. Why are you so interested in Jake anyway? I gotta go now. Later. Nancy, I'm starting to wonder about you.
Didn't I hear you were dating Jake?
Hey, a girl can make a mistake, can't she?
Your medallion has a symbol that means crane, and crane is the name of the judo school on the poster in the gym.
What a coincidence. Funny, I never noticed. I gotta go now. Later. Hey, Nancy, need something?
Someone set off the alarm on the soda machine again.
Ugh. Watch the fort while I'm gone.
Maybe she's writing a note to Daryl? Who can say? Alright, now that she's gone, let's get into the teacher's lounge. Now, in the original game, when you open Jake's locker, you get a glass cutter and you go outside to the side of the school and cut a hole in the window to get in. But I guess they didn't want us to repeat that because Nancy had to break in, which isn't legal. So they took a better direction. Here's another message. The trophy was not the only prize, but also money of a greater size. Yeah, you'll see they light up like that before I pick them up. Oh, this is the company by Daryl's father that went bankrupt. Here's another one. Let's log into the computer using Eloise's information. Okay, this is important. Note we have is the password to the maintenance room in Braille, so now that I've looked at the book on Braille, I know how to type the correct order. Oh, if you heard that sound, that's another mysterious sound that happens for when you're in here for for reasons unknown. Yeah, so there's that alarm in the library and this banging sound. Who can say? Locate missing book order replacement for English essays through the yes ages. That was in Jake's locker. Yeah. Wrong thing. Dylan HVAC. Change password. You know, hopefully they didn't. No, there was another quarter, but I'm not going to waste my time looking for quarters. This was more obvious in the original game, and it's word scramble here. But in the original game, the first letters of each word, as you scroll down, spell out Tanaka cheats, and it's still here, but it's just not in. It's on word scramble here, and so we have to find out how he cheated. Well, turns out
This looks
exactly like the one in Jake's locker. So that's why Jake has the book in his locker. He was blackmailing Hal. Oh, that's interesting. It's playing that same music from the library. I don't think I've usually heard that. The music, when music plays in this game, especially for changing music like this, when it's done in the library or outside of it, it's always random. Daryl and some other students were involved in a senior prank. Maybe the music changed because I found that big important clue about Hal having cheated. Oh, now it's changed again. Suddenly stopped.
Hello?
You better stop your nosing, or it'll get bent way out of shape.
That was Mitch threatening me. Let's call him back.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. You called me and threatened me?
No, I didn't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you did. I saw your caller ID number.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry, miss, if you're having trouble with your air conditioning. We'll send a technician to find a permanent solution.
I'm not talking about air conditioning. I'm talking about you threatening me.
I didn't threaten you.
Look, I'm not going to play this game with you.
What a grouch. Alright, though before I leave, let's confront Howlon that we know his secret.
Do you know why Jake had an empty video cassette case in his locker?
I didn't know Jake was interested in video. I avoided him whenever I could.
You plagiarized your senior essay on etiquette, and Jake knew about it.
Yes, Nancy. I'm very ashamed. My family will be extremely unhappy about this terrible mistake I have made. Somehow, Jake found out I copied that old essay. Then he blackmailed me into doing his homework for him.
Why did you copy the essay?
I had no other choice. My family won't let me stay in the United States unless I get a scholarship next year. I had to take extra courses to earn the scholarship. Before I realized what I had done, I was buried in work. I copied the essay because I was desperate.
What happened when Jake found out?
Jake demanded I do all his homework for the rest of the semester, or he would tell my family everything. What else could I do? My family was depending on me to succeed.
Were you desperate enough to kill him?
I was not happy about the situation, but I would never kill anyone. I value human life. Please don't tell anyone about this. I beg you. You will gain nothing if you do, and it would destroy my family if they knew what really happened. I regret what I have done. Please let me have this chance to become a doctor. I promise to make up for this mistake, even if it takes the rest of my life.
If you didn't kill Jake, do you have any idea who did?
When I delivered Jake's homework to him the other day, he mentioned being late for a meeting with Daryl Gray. It was very strange. I didn't know they were friends.
See you later.
Farewell, Nancy.
Alright, now we've talked to everyone about everything, so let's go back to the diner. Now, when you come back here after talking to everyone, Detective Beach may or may not be there. Now he's not. So let's just
Hey,
talk to
gorgeous.
Daryl.
Glad you stopped by.
Daryl, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm seeing someone else.
Hey, I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
So, what's been going on?
Well, your uncle isn't here if that's who you're looking for. I'm sorry for saying this, but he's kind of a Mr. Cranky Pants.
How so?
He's on edge from drinking all of our coffee, and last week he seriously freaked out on me.
What happened?
I don't know. He lost something in the diner and accused us of stealing it. He went kind of psycho.
Do you know Connie Watson?
Not that well. She keeps to herself a lot. I've always thought there's something mysterious about her. Kind of the same way I feel about you.
Thanks for the compliment, but I'm already seeing someone.
That's cool. I'm just saying. Not playing.
Al Tanaka told me Jake said he had a meeting with you once. But I thought you said you hardly knew him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he had to talk to me about work.
Do you know why Jake had an empty video cassette case in his locker?
Why were you in Jake's locker?
Okay, you had have a couple of options to say.
I'm working undercover for the police to investigate the murder.
Oh.
And he doesn't believe it.
Good one! You, an undercover detective? But seriously, I have no idea.
If
What else
Detective
can I
Beach
do
was
for you?
here, when I chose that option, he flips out at Nancy for nearly giving herself
Someone
away.
said you were caught soaping up the windows on the teacher's lounge.
So it's a good thing he's not here.
Yeah, I totally got busted. It was a senior prank. I had to spend 2 days in detention.
Wasn't that the night Jake was murdered?
Yeah, I guess it was. Never really thought about that.
Do you know why Connie broke your date to the Sadie Hawkins dance?
No, it was really weird. But what was even weirder is that she took Jake instead of me. Like I said, she's mysterious.
What can you tell me about Hal Tanaka?
Hal's an exchange student who's all scholarships and study. He's very intense about becoming a doctor.
How well do you know Hulk Sanchez?
Big guy, big muscles, big dreams. A lot of football scouts have been coming over to watch him play. He must be under a lot of pressure to perform.
Is your dad the owner of Gray Enterprises?
Yep, that's him. I have an internship in the computer department at the plant. It's mega boring, but it'll look good on my college application.
Didn't I hear that Gray Enterprises went bankrupt?
So what if it did? My dad is working really hard to get the company back on track, and it doesn't help to have vultures like you gloating over it.
I'm sorry, Daryl. I didn't mean to gloat.
That's okay. I'm just a little touchy about it. What else can I do for you?
Didn't I hear that you found Jake's body?
Yeah, I did. The student council president gets keys to the school. We had an early morning council meeting and I found him lying there. It was the worst thing I ever experienced in my life. And I really don't want to think about it right now.
Talk to you later.
Oh, before I forget, someone left this note for you. It was on the counter when I got back from break.
You know, just like it is in the original game, once you've talked to everyone about everything, they touch you about Hal copying the essay, Hulk's injury and the robbery at the pharmacy, and Connie having the medallion with the symbol for Crane, just the name, same as the name as the judo school. Then you talk to Daryl and get a note from him.
Bye, Nancy.
So let's go to the boiler room, or the boiler is in the maintenance room. And now that since I know okay, wrong direction. Now I go to the maintenance room, and note spells out this in Braille. Yep, another quarter. Wait a minute, look at that. Uh-oh, yes, hear that music. To be normal, they have to look like that. So what you do is take the bolt cutters, cut off the chain, but
Ouch, too hot.
handles are too hot, so you use the gloves. Pull that twice, and this once. And it sets to normal. Now, in the original game, when you have this time puzzle, you know it's you're in danger because of the music playing and the ticking you hear, but there's no, you don't see flames in the boiler like you just did now. But I will tell you, let's see. Okay, the elevator's busted, just like how it happens with the puzzle in the original game. And it's placed over differently in a different spot here, but if you don't take the bolt cutters, you can put in the combination for the lock to get the chain off, and it's 1967 found here. But either way, you put in that code or take the bolt cutters, it's completely your option. Okay, here's the first symbol to that puzzle that Jake mentioned in his notebook, so let's take it. And here's his missing tape. Let's go home and watch it. There's no remote control to turn on the TV like the original game had, so we just turn it on with our hand and put in the tape. Oh, Hulk, he stole the steroids. And Connie was the masked contestant and who won. The magazine said the contestant identified himself as Niniko, which is an anagram of Connie. And here he is filming Hal plagiarizing the essay. But there's nothing about Daryl on this tape. Well, before I go to that puzzle in the library, let's go see Detective Beach.
Nancy, you look terrible. What happened to you? Are you okay?
Somebody set a booby trap for me in the school. I'm pretty sure it was Mitch Dillon who set it up.
Okay, we'll handle this and get Mitch off the street. We can't charge him now or we'll blow our cover, but once this investigation is done, I guarantee you he'll pay for this.
Daryl mentioned that you had lost something last week?
Yes. I lost my wallet. A lot of my undercover contact information is in the wallet, including yours. You can imagine what would happen if that information fell into the wrong hands.
Did you ever find it?
It was in my hotel room all along. I think I was drinking too much coffee, starting to affect my mind.
I found the videotape Jake made. It shows some students that Jake was blackmailing.
Was one of the students Daryl Gray?
No.
That's surprising. My intuition says that Blondie Burger Boy is involved in this somehow. A good lead, but we really need to find that journal of Jake's.
Blondie Burger Boy, that's an interesting nickname.
I think a student may have killed Jake because he was blackmailing him, or her.
You're getting great leads, but think and may have are not good enough. We need to find hard evidence, like Jake's journal.
I found a notepad in the library that seems like a message from Jake.
Really? Tell me more.
It says, "Things to remember me," and seems to give clues about the answer to my fate lies in a box.
This is the best lead we've had. I think I could break the case. Follow whatever directions he gave to find this box. His journal could be in there. Excellent work, Nancy Drew. But remember, you need to keep a low profile and be careful.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right, let's go back to the school. Before I go to the library, let's talk to Hulk and Connie about them being blackmailed by Jake.
I'm not into pushy girls. Do me a favor and bother someone else.
Jake knew you broke into the drug station. He was blackmailing you, wasn't he?
Yeah. He found out I stole the steroids and threatened to turn me over to the cops. It would have meant the end of my football career if I didn't cooperate.
What did he want from you?
You name it. Chauffeur, errand boy, bodyguard. He loved ordering me around like I was his slave.
Why did you steal the steroids?
I got hurt really bad in a game a few weeks back. Broke 4 ribs and cracked 2 others. I had to keep playing even though I was hurt. I needed to impress the scouts. Then I started taking steroids. It wasn't worth it because I was still in pain and all my free time was spent playing errand boy for Jake.
Did you kill him?
I'm not a killer, Nancy. I didn't do it. The last thing Jake had me do was deliver a note to Daryl Gray. It was in a sealed envelope, so I couldn't read it. My bet is Jake was blackmailing Daryl.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Hey, Nancy, need something?
I know you're the unknown winner of that judo competition. Jake Rogers had it all on videotape.
Yes, Nancy. I'm the mysterious winner of the men's tournament. It wasn't easy for me, and I'm proud of what I did.
Did you kill Jake to stop him from blackmailing you?
Are you crazy? Of course not. I didn't kill Jake.
Jake was threatening to expose you, maybe even make you lose your black belt, and he forced you to break your date with Daryl. Life would have been so easy with him out of the way.
I didn't kill Jake.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, I think that might have been the last message I needed to see. Yeah. Just checking. I think I got all 18 of them. Because remember, they're in the school, but they're also, especially on the bulletin boards, but they're also a few in the diner, and I think at least one might be in Eloise's home, but I know it now, so let's go in and get it. Okay, so the way to solve this puzzle is, since I have the first symbol, you don't know what the other symbols are, but you follow that by the periodic table of the elements. You go in order as they appear. So the messages have from helium to mercury, and so you go in the order as they appear on the periodic table. So after I hit the first symbol, I click the one that's representation of for helium, which is number 2, and then the next one will be carbon, sodium, so it goes from up to down, just like by the numbers as the atomic number, as you can see. Yeah. I took chemistry as in college and graduate school, so I know the elements all too well. I don't need to open the book. So here's the first symbol. So helium gives the directions up 2, carbon from that right 1, sodium left 3, chlorine down 2, potassium right 1, zinc down 1, and then the rest up 4, left 2, D3 right 4, D1 left 3, up 2, right 3, up 2, left 1, down 2, left 3. Here it is. So we gotta watch this tape too, see what's on it. Before I go to the house to do that, let's stop to talk to Daryl one more time because of what Hulk told us. That an envelope was delivered to him.
So, how'd your date go with the mysterious note-leaving guy?
Let's just say he almost took my breath away.
Good, so I'm still in the running for you.
Daryl, I'm not interested.
Okay, I get the picture.
Yeah,
Hulk
he
Sanchez
sounds really
said he saw you
disappointed.
delivering an envelope to Jake.
Okay, so I gave him an envelope. Big deal. It was about a school project I'm working on. Hey, what is it with all these questions? I'm really starting to wonder who you are exactly, Nancy Drew. I'm out of here. If Maxine drops by, make up a good excuse about why I had to leave. See you around, Nancy.
It's kind of pouty, if you ask me. Here's one last thing I want to show you. Just like in the original game, word can backwards spells Nancy Drew. And if you played any of the later games, you may notice that some of these, I'm not sure which tracks they are, which is which, but some of these are from the numbers that Nancy dances to when in Phantom of Venice. Let's go back to the house. We're at the very end of the game. We just have to watch the video.
This is the story of a student council president gone terribly bad. Let's take a look at what kind of homework he's bringing home from Daddy's top secret military-industrial aerospace factory. But what does Daryl do with this stuff? He's too stupid to really know what it all means. But he's not too stupid to know how much these industrial secrets are worth. You see, Daryl's selling out to our local air conditioning guy, Mitch Dillon. Not sure what a guy specializing in HVAC does with satellite schematics, telemetry encodings, and signature intelligence, but I'm sure whatever it is, it's not exactly legal. But it's probably worth a lot of money to Mitch to keep it quiet. Breaking news, check it out. I found out who Mitch is selling Daryl's secrets to. This dude. Can you imagine? This dorkoid is the ringleader of some kind of
I didn't think he was a good guy.
Secrets. And Mr. Clueless just forgot his journal full of important notes like contact numbers, system passwords, project code names, amounts paid, etc., etc. And some other stuff.
So that's why he freaked out, like Daryl mentioned the previous week. He lost his journal.
But just in case, should anything happen to me,
which is why he didn't tell us. He'd said he lost his wallet.
Book carts at the school, but I doubt he'll give me much trouble. Just a ton of cash. So if you find this video, come look me up. I'll probably be long gone from Paseo Del Mar, and
tanning my bod on my very own private island. Retired at 17.
Dread Isle, that's from Ransom of the Seven Ships.
Aunt Eloise? Is that you?
Detective Beach.
I didn't expect you.
I just thought I'd come by and see how you're doing. You seemed kind of in a hurry.
Yeah, because you're not who
Did
you
find
said
the
you
journal?
were.
Yes, I found your journal.
Uh-oh.
What?
Your
Jake's
journal.
journal. I found Jake's journal.
No. You said my journal. You said that you found my journal. Why don't we step
Pulls
into
a gun
the
on
living room
us.
and have a nice chat about where my journal is, Oh, and why don't you give me your cell phone? I'd hate to be interrupted during our little tete-a-tete.
So, this Detective Beach, an undercover assignment, was just a ruse to get me to find your journal. You killed Jake, didn't you?
Yes, I did con you into this undercover charade, and you just ate it up. I mean, you had the lingo, the self-important attitude. You're a real Snoopy Susie, aren't you? But as far as murder goes, no. That was my former partner, Mitch Dillon. But stop with this delaying tactic, Detective Nancy. Where's my journal?
Okay, so what we're going to have to do is try to trap him. And if you remember that note at the beginning from Eloise, don't enter at wrong combination, well, that's the answer.
It's in the entrance, behind the tapestry.
Give him the wrong combination to the safe, and watch what happens.
What's the combination?
Just don't give him the correct one, which is Sigma Phi Kappa Delta.
Mu Pi Phi Zeta.
That's not it, Nancy.
Delta, 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 Delta.
You're trying my patience, Detective Drew. What's the combination?
Zeta Mu Mu Pi.
Hey! What the? Get me out of here, Nancy Drew!
I'm sure the police will be happy to transfer you to another set
So,
of bars.
see, you put in the wrong
Hello,
combination,
Detective Beach.
it'll catch
Hello,
the
prisoner
person.
Number 4321A. Dear Dad, case closed. Mitch Dillon and his boss, formerly known as Detective Beach, are on their way to prison. The police still don't know his real identity, but his trade in top secret information has been stopped, thanks to Aunt Eloise's burglar-proof safe. Daryl has confessed to selling information about his father's military projects. Despite the damage this has caused Gray Enterprises, Daryl's father has forgiven him. Connie returned her trophy, but the judo club refused to take it and is opening their competitions to women next year. Hulk agreed to pay for the damages to the pharmacy, and Hal has gotten his scholarships. And I'm headed to the beach, where the only cover I'm going to go under is a beach blanket. See you soon, Nancy.
Alright, and like games of the time, it ends with a trivial question and how many you can get to get an award, or possible awards to get. I don't remember the answer. Oh, I got it right? Nice. And here it's the credits for Shadow at the Water's Edge, because it was released before this remastered game was released before this one. And after
I always wanted to visit
after
Japan.
the Trail of the
From
Twister.
the exotic food and wild fashion in the cities to the nature and tradition in the smaller towns, I know there's going to be a ton to see and do. As a thank you for all of my hard detective work, P.G. Krolmeister has reserved a room for me at one of the area's best ryokans, or traditional inns. It'll be nice to finally take a break from solving mysteries and to spend a few weeks without danger in dark secrets.
Yeah, well, wherever
hiding around
Nancy
every
goes,
corner.
crime always follows,
I've already
even if
heard
not
that the
intentional.
ryokan I'm staying
She
in
never
has
gets a
quite
break from solving
reputation.
mysteries.
I'm not sure exactly for what, though. Well, I'll find that out soon enough.
Yeah, you will. Oh my god, it looks like something out of The Ring. I've never seen that movie, but I've seen that spooky
Join me
promotional
in my next
image.
adventure, Shadow at the Water's Edge.
All right, and so that's it for my video walkthrough of the Secrets Can Kill Remastered game. Can't really decide if I like this better than the original or not. I mean, among the changes made, I mean, I think it was weird to have Detective Beach, well, quote unquote, Detective Beach, since we don't know who he really is, included. I think this character was named as a nod to, at the very end of the original game, when during Nancy's voiceover narration, Daryl and Connie get in a car together and drive past a sign that says Detective Beach, a TV series, which is probably how this character got his name. I mean, I like seeing the characters in computer animation to make it consistent with the rest of the series, but I don't know. I guess I like both games, even though Secrets and Kill itself is not one of my most favorite games. But at least now I have both to play. Again, thanks to Nancy Drew Walkforth for that instruction on how to download the original game. So I'll see you guys next time.